Good morning, guys. It's Jolene here from the Home Stitchery Decor channel. More on this Etsy debacle. I do have a couple of videos before this one. The first video that I did on it has practically gone viral, so go ahead and watch that video. And I had a whole slew of questions. So I'm going to go over some of these questions to the best of my knowledge. If things change, I will come back on here and tell you what I've learned. So one of the first questions that I got was, okay, so now that I've purchased a Shopify store, and I'll put a Shopify link here. I'm an affiliate for Shopify. If you're thinking of having a backup plan, this is the route to go. And so I said on that initial video, get yourself a Shopify store and then get yourself an app on that Shopify store, which is an Etsy integration app, and pull your listings from Etsy over to your Shopify store as a backup plan. I did not say quit Etsy. Some people are really mad at Etsy and they want to quit. Go ahead. I'm not going to quit Etsy just yet. I still think there's a lot of value in Etsy, but I did give you some options in that video to start a Shopify store and then to market with Tailwind. And Tailwind, I will put a QR code here. I'm an affiliate for Tailwind as well. And if you sign up for Tailwind, you get 25 free Ghostwriter credits with my sign up. Okay, so on with the show. Get yourself a Shopify store, get the Etsy integration, one of those integration apps, and pull your listings over. One of the girls that was having some questions, she said to me, okay, I looked at the Shuttle app, the Etsy app called Shuttle, and it capped out at 200 listings, and she had more than 200 listings. So she went ahead and purchased Etsy integration and sync, which is $60 US, and then she pulled all her listings in, and her question was, do I have to keep this app after I've done this? No, you don't. Any app that you purchase on the Shopify store, you just have to follow their terms and conditions, just like anything else. If you buy a 90-day app, it's a 90-day app. If you buy a 30-day app, it's a 30-day app. They're going to have the rules and the terms and conditions there, right there for you. And if you delete the app, you're not going to lose all your work. They're not going to delete the listings that you pulled over. So I always say, it's good to have a backup plan. It's good not to have all your eggs in one basket. It's good to learn ahead, right? So right now you're on Etsy and you might want to switch to Shopify. And the only way that I find I can push myself to do that is to just start doing the steps, right? So since computers were invented, everybody has said to you, back up your work, back up your work, back up your work, right? It's no different with Etsy or any other platform that you're selling on. You should have a backup of your work. I'm telling you that opening a Shopify store and pulling your listings in, even if you had to pay $60 for that, if you had thousands of listings, how much time would that take you? And Etsy integration and sync will do that for you right away. Shuttle will do that for you up to 200 listings. So if you're a smaller store, you don't have to pay bigger fees for whichever app. Those are the two apps that I recommend for it. Okay, so that's one of the first questions that I got that I wanted to address. Now, another question that people keep asking is there's so much confusion about these mock-ups and what we can use. My take on this, and this is just my take on it, is that did we do our research? I know I did not do my research. I actually had a couple videos here on my channel about how to make mock-ups, and I've used them. So I had to go back and change all of my listings. I'm not a perfect person either. I was learning off the internet, and I really should have Googled this myself before I put the information out onto the internet. So everybody blaming YouTubers yesterday and, putting exact Etsy shops on their YouTube channel with like banned on them and stuff. I don't know how they're not going to get sued for defamation. I would not do that. It is not the Mockup shop. Like, it's not their fault exactly. They're selling mock-ups. You're not required to put mock-ups on your Etsy store. You can use mock-ups for all kinds of other things. And in the second video I made, which I made yesterday, I gave you a whole bunch of places that you could actually repurpose your mock-ups and start marketing yourself on an epic scale and probably even grow your Etsy store, just marketing your mock-ups on places like Instagram, Facebook, Reels, YouTube Shorts, Pinterest, Idea Pins, and TikTok. Go watch that video. I showed you how to do it step by step. If you look for the other one that I mentioned in there where I'm going to video my phone, that app is actually down this weekend, so I haven't got that one done yet, but it will be done in the next few days. They've told me they just are going to do an update on their app this weekend, so isn't that handy? Okay, So that is my take on that. Don't defame mock-up stores on your YouTube channel and expect to have a good outcome from that. That's not nice at all. Okay, so then another question that I got about mock-ups is, are we allowed to use mock-ups for digital items? And then in my little, I used to be an insurance investigator brain, I'm like, what the heck is everybody talking about here? Like, why wouldn't they put this information out there? As a shareholder from Etsy, I'm like, they have an obligation here to be telling people what their terms and conditions are. So I thought to myself, oh my goodness, why don't I just Google it? So that's what I did. So I'm going to pull up my screen here of what I just Googled. And in the top, I just typed into Google Etsy mockup rule. And in this rule, if you scroll down a little bit, this says it was posted on November 27th, 2018. So this rule has been in place since November 27th, 2018. Etsy would put out a new rule if they had one, and it would show up top of this one. But this one clearly says handmade items. Listing photos should be of the finished product made by you. Different handmade techniques produce different results. And it's important that your images accurately reflect the product that the buyer will receive. Mockups may be used for digital items because they correctly depict the item. It's right there. I don't know why we're all screaming and huffing and puffing about Etsy. It is literally right there. Okay, so the question I got was, can I use it for digital items? Etsy is saying to you, yes, you can use it for digital items. And okay, so as you scroll down here, there are more answers. If you're asking if you can use mockups to display your products, such as artwork on a wall, you can absolutely do that. Before I started using mockups in my shop, I contacted Etsy to make sure it was legal. And this person said, yes, of course you can use them. I mean, this is just somebody's opinion, right? So this is not what is actually put out by Etsy, which is the Etsy legal policy, which is what this one was right here. So go with whatever Etsy says and not what you see on Reddit, not what you see in Etsy forums, not what you see on Etsy Facebook groups. Just go with what Etsy legal has put out. And they have a whole slew of information here. So they're like, how do you use the mockups? How do you create mockups? These are all people's opinions again, right? So this is, if it's not put out directly by Etsy, so this is somebody's YouTube channel, right? They're the same as me as a YouTuber. They don't actually really know. So just go to the Etsy legal department, Google whatever Etsy has put out, and say, is this actually what I need to be doing? I think what's happened is when you have a t-shirt that is this size and the mock-up from Printify is this size, and then you buy a different mock-up and it's this size, even if it's out 1 centimeter, you're not fairly representing your product. So Etsy has a legal requirement on their platform to make sure that the people that are selling things on their platform are fairly representing the products that they are selling. And that is their legal obligation. That's what they're required to do. And then you add in, okay, putting things in the mail that don't look exactly like they are on the internet. And there's a whole slew of, legalities that go on with that. So they don't want to open themselves up to any litigation that isn't for them. That's going to put them in trouble is basically what I'm trying to say. And then everybody's like, okay, well, how do they even know which mock-ups are, like, they're systematically banning all these mock-ups with their bots, right? So when you put anything onto the computer, whether it's a picture, whether it's a video, whether it's like a voice thing, like a YouTube channel, every single thing that you put out has metadata in it. So if a shop is getting shut down, the bot has screened their shot and has pulled out metadata from the actual images and can quickly go, okay, well, this shop has the same metadata as that shop. This shop has the same metadata as that shop. It's simple computer programming. So somebody and their Etsy, super smart computer team has gone ahead and programmed this bot. Okay, all the things that don't say this, we're going to get rid of them. And all the things that do say this, if they do that, we're going to get rid of them. Will you get your shop back from Etsy? I have no idea. I don't know what they're going to do with all of this information. They put it out in 2018 and nobody read it. Whether or not you get your shop back, I have absolutely no idea. So I know people have asked me that 50 times. I just don't know. So yeah, that's how they do it, right? They program a computer. Now, if you're interested in backing up your work, I will put the Shopify QR code here. Sign yourself up for a Shopify store. Like I said, back up your work. And that's all the information I have for today. So thanks for being here. Make sure to leave comments on these channels. Make sure to ask me questions, because when you ask me questions, I can do some research. I can do a YouTube video and hopefully help some more people with this problem so that they don't get shut down. And yeah, go change your listing photos as quick as you can if you are worried about it. Have a great day, you guys.